Hello and welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me live and, of course, on the replay. Wherever you may be catching this broadcast, let me know you're here so that I can send you some love and, of course, answer any questions that you might have. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am a quantum numerologist and wealth activator, and I am passionate about the creation of wealth on the planet. And I believe that comes through the hands of those who give a fuck. The healers, the coaches, the teachers, the change makers, those of you who are out there in the trenches doing the good work and that believe unity is possible. Let's dive into today's conversation. I'm curious, what is the feedback that you're receiving in your world right now? Specifically today on the day of recording is August 11th, 2021, and it is a 6 energy day. And in the 6 energy, we receive feedback. Some of it we love, some of it we don't love. But here's the thing about feedback. We perceive positive triggers or feedback as synchronicities. And then we perceive negative things as triggers. So when we're triggered, we have an emotional state of fear, sadness, anger, frustration, powerlessness. All of these perceived negative emotions can rise up for us. And in the synchronicities, we feel like everything's going right. I'm in flow. Everything feels amazing. I feel joy, freedom, bliss, happiness, all of those perceived positive emotions. But the way that the universe works is that we're the only ones that judge those emotions. The universe does not judge those emotions. They're all just part of unity. So when we receive feedback in the form of a trigger, our mind immediately goes to, oh, I don't like that. I don't want to focus on that. I just want to avoid it. I'm going to shove it, dumb it, drug it, numb it, shove it under the carpet, feed it, alcohol it, all the things, right? Netflix it. We're going to just avoid it and pretend it doesn't exist. That's usually the go-to, or we sit in it and we judge it and we hold on to it and we complain about it to our mom and to our best friend and our spouse, and we complain and complain and complain and we perpetuate that situation. So we either numb it or we feel it for way too long. Now, there's nothing wrong with those emotions. But the other side of the coin here is that when we receive things, when we see feedback in the world that feels like we're on the right track and we're going the right way, we celebrate. Or sometimes we just ignore it and we don't even see it and we don't have awareness around it. It doesn't matter if you're receiving triggers or if you're receiving synchronicities. It is all feedback. It is feedback from the universe about what you are creating. And on a 6 energy day, this feedback can show up a lot. It can show up in the triggers and the synchronicities. Your job is to notice the feedback, not to sit in it, not to complain about it, not to celebrate it, not to focus on it, but to notice it and then choose what you want to do with it. So when you notice a trigger rising up and you feel the anger or the sadness, what will you do with that energy? As a human being, that is your superpower, to be able to choose what to do with that. Will you continue to perpetuate it by complaining about it? Or will you choose differently? Will you choose to focus your attention on what you love instead of what you don't love? We talk about this in Mind Shift a lot, using quantum expansion energy in being able to shift and transmute the energy that we are experiencing. Emotion is nothing but energy, and you are not at the whim of that. You get to choose how you direct the energy in your world. And so when you notice triggers, instead of going to the complaint or going to the, I'm just going to numb it, dumb it, drug it, Netflix it, just notice it. Get curious about it and ask yourself, what would I rather feel? What would I choose to feel differently? And in that, you can start to create the momentum towards what you're choosing. Now, when you notice synchronicity showing up, where the client called you or the money landed in your bank account or somebody reached out to you and said something that you've been waiting for them to say, those synchronicities that are showing up, honor them, recognize them, celebrate them. Write them down in a journal. I keep my book of magic where I write down all the synchronicities, all of the feedback that I love. Because in the loving of that feedback, we are choosing to amplify for more. It's that old saying, more please, right? If we don't recognize the feedback that's showing up, the universe is like, well, maybe they don't really want it, right? Focus on what you want. Notice the feedback, whether it's perceived negative or positive, and then choose to experience more of what you love. That's how we bring in a harmonization of the energy that we love and the experiences that we love and the adventures that we love and the wealth that we want to create in our worlds. Instead of focusing on what we perceive to be negative, choose to feel differently. Be willing to feel differently. Be willing to shift and choose to focus on that which you love, the feedback that you love, and amplify that for more. Just choose more. You get to choose. So what's it going to be? I hope you have an incredible, incredible week, an incredible day. I hope that you lean into this just a little bit more today and have an incredible, incredible day. I love you. I believe in you, and I see your power.